All right, y'all, so today we're gonna be taking pictures with the Nikon 50mm f1.2s. Our model today is gonna be Ali, and the body we're gonna be using is the Nikon Z6. So the reason I chose this location was because of the nice foreground and background that we had. So we have a lot of different elements that can be affected by the depth of field. So for this review, it's not gonna be much of a technical review. I just really wanna say the things that I'm experiencing as I'm shooting with this. And for starters, this thing is massive and the lens doesn't balance well on the camera, and I kind of don't like the ergonomics compared to the 50 f1.8. Another gripe that I have right now as we took a couple more pictures is that as I'm shooting like this, my fingers touch the barrel right there and I can't figure out in the moment how to turn this off so that it doesn't do anything, because it's taking me from autofocus into manual focus, and I don't like that at all. All right, looking over here. Oh, this is looking really nice. I'm glad we came here. Come this way. Yeah. I want to disable the big ring here because this is changing my focus a lot, and that sucks. Controls, custom controls. Yeah, do that one again, but a big smile. Yeah, and throw the other hand up in the air now.
Like both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put the hand with the flowers up.
Up?
Yep. There we go. Stay right there. Both hands on the bouquet. Smiling, looking good. Let me get some, come closer to me.
Okay.
Right there. I'm gonna see how close I can focus with this lens. Chin up a little bit. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. Oh, it stopped. Okay, so like right there is as kind of close as I can focus. All right, now I'm gonna switch from the 50 and I'm gonna go to the 50 1.8. So I switched over to the 50 f1.8s, and already I like the ergonomics of this a lot better. It fits the camera body a lot. it fits the ergonomics of the body a lot more, and it definitely is more enjoyable to be using. Just right off the rip, I know that it still lands in the same position I was talking about as the 50 f1.2s, but this one is so light that it's actually resting on my palm here, and these fingers are just kind of hanging out there, versus on the 50 1.2, I had to put more of my hand on the barrel of the lens. See how close this one can focus? Oh. So that's as much as it can focus right there. And let's take some more pictures like we were doing earlier, so you can keep freestyling your poses. So far, I like the flow of this camera and lens combination a lot better. I think the body and lens combo is just so much more balanced. So if you're trying to pack light, or if you find yourself shooting for a long time, such as a wedding or an event, the 50 1.8 might just be the thing you're looking for because of how light it is, and so you should be able to use it more comfortably during longer durations of time. Yeah, I'm gonna get some full bodies. Love those. Look off in the distance for a couple. Let me get closer for those. Look over here. All right, let's do that shot I was talking about. Kind of like you're just taking a step. Yeah, like the Charlie Brown. take a real step forward. All right, and then do that. Have your right leg leading. Yeah. Angle yourself at 45 degrees more. There we go. Hold the bouquet up, kind of like around here. Yeah, perfect. You're gonna hold that pose, and then have that hand also on the bouquet. Like that. And then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a bokeh test or a depth of field test between the 50 1.8, the 50 1.2, and the Plena. So you're gonna hold that, okay? The best you can. Big smile. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I'm gonna go get the 51.2. Try going for it. Same pose. All right, ready? Okay, hold on. Okay, got a couple, and then I'm going to go get the 135. So right here you can see that the 135 is just as about as thick as the 51.2, but yet this has almost about 3 times the focal length as the 50. All right, ready? That looks like butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Nice, keep holding that. Take a couple here. All right, so we just got done using the 51.2, the 50 1.8, and the Plena 1.8. And right here you can see a little size comparison. So you have the 50 1.8 versus the 50 1.2. And then over here, we have the 50 1.8 versus the 135 Plena f1.8. So honestly, there is a little bit of a magic quality to the 50 1.2. I can see it on the back of the screen. It definitely makes everything look a lot nicer. It sort of reminds me of the Plena a little bit, but maybe not in terms of image and what it's doing, but more so in terms of handling. I noticed that to avoid the barrel problem, I've placed my hand closer to the body, so I'm not on this part of it. I'm more so on top of the useless OLED display. The moment I put my hand here, it just starts manual focusing, and I'm sure there's a way to turn it off, but right now I can't figure out how to do it, which if you're coming from being used to having all your lenses just not do that, and all of a sudden you want it to be turned off, that might get in the way. So I'm sure if I read the manual again, there might be a way to turn it off. But I thought I had it set to do nothing, but the manual focus override is something that I just haven't figured out how to defeat so far. Looking over here. Nice. You're doing great. Nice poses. It's getting dark pretty fast. I'm having to crank my ISO up a bit. So overall, I'd say I am really pleased with what the 50 1.2 is giving me. I kind of don't like the ergonomics for it so far. My hand keeps landing in this position. It's just one of those small things. It's just, if you want the image quality and if you want the 1.2, you'll put up with all these things. But for me personally, as I'm by the spoil, this is not really worth it for me. All right, so I just got done putting the 50 1.8 back on, along with the same mist filter that I was using on the 50 1.2. So already going from f1.2 to f1.8, had to up the ISO on my camera a bit, but I do notice that even on the back of the screen, I can still tell the difference in depth of field. All right, and then we're gonna take a couple of pictures with the Plena and then we'll be done. Okay, so get a little bit further back in, yeah. So even though the Plena has more weight behind it, I'm not mad that it's heavy. Like, it's a 135 at 1.8, so I kind of understand the weight, versus my brain can't accept the fact that the 50 1.2 is still a 50 millimeter and that it weighs a bunch. When I have a 50 1.8 that weighs a lot less, is more comfortable, and is also delivering really good image quality. So it kind of doesn't make sense for me, versus holding the 135. It feels a lot better. Like, it does feel more balanced in my hand, and it doesn't feel as heavy as the 50 1.2 for some reason. Maybe it's just better weight distribution inside the lens, but right now I can tell the ergonomics are already a lot more what I prefer, rather than having the 50 1.2 on there. Take one step back right there. So let me make sure these are sharp. I'm gonna up my shutter speed. Okay. All right, let's finish up taking these portraits. Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold it, hold it. Look over your left shoulder. Not like that, just kind of to the side. Chin down a little bit. Then we get a close up. Put the flowers like to the left of you. Yep. Look over here. Yeah, I like that one. I like that. All right, and we're done. Let's go. All right, so that's us finishing up this photo shoot on the 135 Plena. I definitely had fun trying out all the 3 lenses. So between the 50-1.8, the 50-1.2, and the 135 1.8, I have to say my favorite focal length was definitely the 50-1.8 because of how light it was, how well the ergonomics were when you combine it with a C6 camera style body. The depth of field was definitely still present. Obviously the difference between 135 to 50 is significant because of the focal length differences. I still wanted to test them out and see how the depth of field compared when taking similar framed pictures of Allie. As I was editing this video, I realized I forgot to film an outro. I really enjoyed using the 50-1.2. My overall thoughts on the 50-1.2 is that it is way too heavy, a lot more expensive, and to me, it's not worth it when the 50-1.8S is such a great lens within the same ecosystem that the 50-1.2 finds itself in. The ease of use of the 50-1.8 makes it a very strong contender over the 50-1.2. I just don't feel like the bulk and the complexity of adding the 51.2 to your workflow is worth it. I think if I'm gonna have a lens that is that large, I'm probably gonna go for the 135 because it gives a completely different look compared to the 51.8 versus the 51.2 is barely like a tiny bit noticeable difference in terms of the depth of field. So to me, it's just not worth it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you found this video useful, consider leaving a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel. My name is Justin, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.